I have quit masturbation forever. This is a true story. Before starting the video, subscribe to the channel and press the bell to be notified of the next videos. Masturbation habit starts sometime during puberty and continues to evolve. With the rise of technology, it has now become easier to jerk off, and children are beginning to do it at earlier ages. Just like any action, the more you do it, the more it becomes normal and habitual. When I masturbated, I realized the Pavlovian response that I had created. I would always go to the bathroom to poop and then quickly masturbate to make it seem as if I was still in the bathroom pooping. This became a habit, and then anytime I felt like I wanted to masturbate, I felt like pooping. This was an obvious physical habit that grew out of jerking and shows the power of this type of dopamine-rich habit. The physical habit is easy to spot, but the psychological habits are difficult to recognize. The psychological habits from habitual masturbation are most significant and least understood, especially when you include the porn that you are watching and the moment of climax where you are most psychologically exposed. In my journey with Stoicism, I began to focus on incorporating actions that provided me with habits that tested my self-control and provided me with habitual hardships that kept me constantly testing myself. My Stoic interest led me to NoFap. Sometime in college, I began to read into NoFap and saw the reasons and potential benefits for trying it out. Having been brought up in a Catholic household, watching porn made me feel dirty and bad. It did not feel natural to watch other people having sex while I fondled by log. Wanting to test myself, I started doing NoFap. In the beginning it was difficult because I had built up a habit that was strong and had been happening for a while. I'd usually be able to last a few days not fapping and then would give in to the temptation. Slowly, I worked my way up to being able to go weeks without fapping. The longest I went in this period of time was 6 months without fapping. I was extremely proud of myself, but then I felt discouraged and reason came flooding back in. I fell for the memes. Masturbating is natural and good for you to release your sperm. It allows new sperm to be created and old sperm to leave the system. It is not healthy to not masturbate. You are prone to testicular cancer if you don't masturbate regularly. I fell back into masturbation. It was partly the reasoning of thinking that maybe going long periods of not fapping was actually bad, and also the desire to want to fall back into this dopamine-rich habit. Instead of doing it daily, I did it every few days, then slowly it came back to doing it daily or every other day. I was back to the same place I had started. When I was bored, I fapped. If I felt like getting some dopamine, I fapped. I knew that I was playing myself, but knew that it was important to fall for the temptation and feel the habit of fapping again. This is an important skill to understand and apply in one's life, knowingly falling into a trap and getting yourself out of that trap. You want to observe how you respond and be confident enough to be able to get out of that trap. Stopped masturbation for life. The last few years I've had a difficult relationship with masturbation. Overall it was a negative one. I realized that it just wasn't providing me any specific benefits besides short-term dopamine bursts. I saw the benefits of going NoFap for extended periods of time. And the tendency to watch porn was something I needed to completely remove from my life. Every time I had gone through NoFap, I experienced great benefits. Immense amounts of energy, sexual energy, and insane aggression. Energy and sexual energy. NoFap provides energy that comes from not releasing your kids. When you masturbate, you notice how much your energy levels drop and you feel comfortable. This daily routine has a huge effect on how you go about your day. The sexual energy that one receives from NoFap is unreal. You are an animal that wants to fuck. You want to reproduce and are not doing it on toilet paper looking at porn. Because you are not releasing your sexual energy via ejaculation daily, your energy needs a place to go. In the beginning it will be difficult to manage the sexual energy you have within, but slowly you begin to be able to manage it and use it for your benefit. I've noticed it is significantly easier to harness this sexual energy and push it outwards. Especially when talking and interacting with women, your sexual energy is already overflowing, and if you are able to harness it and release it in a concentrated form, she will feel it. Women have no idea what is happening nor what they are feeling, but they do notice the sexual energy and will be far more predisposed to see you as an attractive potential mate as opposed to a person that just jacked off and has none of this sexual energy. Sexual energy provides energy for your aura. This invisible energy that is around you and that others perceive without knowing what they perceive. Everyone has an aura. Some are negative and some are positive. We are able to create and build up this aura through our daily habits and way of living. The immediate way to manage this aura and increase it is by allowing your sexual energy to flow. This only happens when you aren't releasing your sexual energy daily. Your aura is more empowered to be managed and to influence others because you have so much sexual energy inside of you. This will attract women and make them more prone to be interested in you. They sense the animal in you wanting to fuck and the sexual energy that radiates. Insane aggression. This sexual energy leads to the other benefit of nofap. The insane aggression you accrue from not releasing your sperm. After having spent the majority of your life masturbating habitually, the lack of masturbating puts you in a dangerous zone. You are not used to having your sperm stay in your body, and the calming docile nature of fapping is not available. Instead of releasing your sexual energy, you are forced to figure out how to manage it. Not managing it will lead you to jack off. You have to manage it, you cannot ignore it. This situation creates an aggressive individual. Your body wants to release its sperm like the many times it has been doing, and your body also wants to fuck. The fact that you aren't doing either makes you become aggressive and want to find a female to fuck. This aggression will make you more confident. Take risks, give less fucks, be more dominant with women, and overall have more power to your being. The downside is that the aggression will come in conflict with those you interact with. You are managing this sexual energy that you haven't managed before. You will get angry, you will shout, you will want to fight. This is all natural and a good sign of what you are undergoing. Observe it and figure out how to manage it. You want to begin to shift the sexual energy and aggression you are receiving towards beneficial habits. Working out, getting sex, doing work, reading, running, walking, etc. You have all this pent-up energy that needs you to distribute it accordingly. No more masturbation. Around 2 months ago I had an epiphany. I had been going in and out of nofap. Doing a few weeks of it and then stopping. This epiphany made me realize that I was receiving far too many benefits to not continue it for the long haul. Granted, it was going to be difficult because the circumstances had changed, we'll explain later, but that the benefits I felt and received from not masturbating were too good to allow myself to jack off and watch porn. That day I decided to never masturbate again. Crazy, really insane. It's the kind of thing that you ask, why even do that to yourself? But something inside of me told that it was going to be extremely beneficial and that I needed to do this. Primarily it is my obsession with self-control, and the other was the obvious benefits I received whenever I didn't jack off. The combination pushed me over the edge and made me give up masturbation forever. Will I give in to the temptation and masturbate again? Maybe. But I doubt it. I've conditioned myself enough in the recent weeks that I am far too invested in this game to give up. That being said, this is a whole life type of thing, which is insane to think I won't be tugging by log anytime soon. Maybe in heaven. This specific nofap push is different than the last ones I've done. Besides the fact that I am not doing it for a specific amount of time but rather forever. The main difference is that I don't have a consistent girl. The last few times I tried nofap was difficult, but I had a consistent girl that I can get my release anytime I wanted. I would only see her every so often, so the nofap was still active, but the consistency put the nofap on easy mode. I knew I had a source that I could release my energy into, and that safety net made the whole process much easier and frankly much more enjoyable. Knowing that I was holding all of it in for when I saw her. But that was before, and now it's a completely different scenario. Now in order to have sex I need to seek greener pastures and close deals. And it worked. Already had sex during this nofap session. The sexual energy is truly something spectacular. I don't leave the house very often and live in an urban area. Rarely do I see girls or people. Only time I do is when I'm in meetings for work or in the city for business. This is when I take advantage of my lack of interactions. Now that I am on nofap and far more eager to find girls, I will be taking more advantage of these outlets. A new chapter, this No Masturbation Forever episode is coming at an interesting time in my life. I'm becoming far more confident in my own abilities and self. Didn't know I could be more confident, and this increase in my abilities have got me being far more aggressive in my relationships with women. In the past I would find a girl and keep her. Jerk off when I needed to and continue to focus on building myself up. This was fine, but I was not interacting with women on the level that I wanted, nor was I enjoying them as I believe I could be enjoying them. Now with my inability to release my sexual energy and my value going up significantly, I am in a better position to meet the opposite sex. To learn from the opposite sex, and no better time than doing it as I'm overflowing with sexual energy. Conclusion: fuck porn and fuck masturbation.